Let's also now talk about security. Parity has a history of well-known security lapses, namely the hacks of the Parity multi-sig wallet, the first of which resulted in the siphoning of funds for some major ICOs, and the second of which froze 500,000 ETH. Now the security for Polkadot will be managed by the base layer chain.
Mm-hmm.
So if something goes wrong there, then the security for all the parachains will be at risk. What do you say to people who are concerned about the security of Polkadot?
Well, we as a company and as a team, we have altered quite a lot since way back when we were doing the Parity wallet. I mean, most of that code was done in 2016-ish. And Parity at that point really had no, I mean, we were just, giving out free software. It was like, yeah, we're coding this stuff under the GPL, no warranty, we didn't have the resources to be doing, huge amounts of auditing. We didn't have the resources to be paying very expensive, I would add, external teams, external experts at security to be looking at this stuff. So really it was like a quid pro quo. It's like, look, the code's here, but you got to kind of look at it. Now with Polkadot, that's obviously changed a little. We have had some not insubstantial income from the crowd sale or the private actually sale that we've been doing, and so it's with this we actually have the resources to do sort of proper both internal audits, which I actually think are really very important, and often will show, because people internally have usually a deeper understanding of the technologies involved, often show like some of the more tricky bugs, but also external audits. And like the Polkadot code base itself went through, I think, 4 separate external audits from 4 top tier security auditors, including one which was a red audit. So it's like basically this kind of top level attack team who were just there attacking I think they were attacking Kusama actually. They were actually trying to, I don't know if they were gonna black hat take it down. I don't think they were, but they were attempting to find holes in it, right? And ultimately the delivery of software comes down to confidence. How confident are you that what you're delivering is reasonably bug free? And you can never be 100% confident. It's too complicated. It's like, I mean, Polkadot in particular is really quite complicated, more so than Ethereum. But regardless, it's still even Ethereum, even like relatively constrained pieces of software contain bugs because they're built by people, and people make mistakes, and people make mistakes when they're looking at other people's stuff, and teams of people make mistakes. You can queue up 100 coders and ask them to find bugs in a particular piece of software, but there will probably be bugs left after all 100 have had a look at them. If you are on utterly like mission critical systems programming, then you'll probably have multiple teams each independently implementing stuff, and you'll have some way of like combining all of their implementations such that any individual bug doesn't actually result in the problem manifesting itself. Now, and that's also an avenue that we've gone down. We have 2 external teams, so not Parity, completely other teams, ChainSafe and Soromitsu, that are implementing Polkadot independently from us. So we're going down that route as well. We've got like huge amounts of external audits. We have a continuous external audit process. So we actually have a company, one of our basically the security company that were one of the 4 that we had audit Polkadot in the first place, constantly auditing the Polkadot code base, constantly looking out for bugs, checking new code. We have a rule that basically no new runtime code gets into Polkadot unless it's been audited. The only exception to that is if it's like really trivial, like basically a number changed or some variable was renamed, But basically all code, all significant changes that go into Polkadot first have to get audited. Nothing goes on the chain until it's been audited. So, I mean, while I can't say, well, Polkadot's bug free because it's a huge piece of software made by humans, we are now taking every precaution that we reasonably can in order to make sure that that doesn't happen. Now, on top of that, we also have governance, which means that in principle, if we can agree that this was a bug and that it really ought to be, it has a very clear manifestation. For example, someone's funds get locked indefinitely, and you can't unlock them directly, but it's very clear that it's their funds. It's very clear that there's one key and only one key that controls these funds. Then you can, and the governance of Polkadot, so the assembled stakeholders, whether it's through a referendum or via the council. In Polkadot's governance case, it's like both. It has to go via the council into a referendum, then everyone gets a chance to vote on it. If the assembled stakeholders decide that actually, we should fix this, we should, whatever, unlock these funds or transfer it back or whatever it is, then it will happen. And that can't happen on chains without governance.
It sounds like this was born out of your experience with the frozen funds on Ethereum.
I mean, we all have our drivers.